Hello everybody and welcome back once again to our YouTube channel. Students, today also I am going to explain you a very important topic, and the name of the topic is active voice and passive voice. Now first of all I'll tell you the difference between active voice and passive voice. Why do we use active voice and why do we use passive voice? See, when the subject of the sentence is important, we use active voice, and when the object of the sentence is important, that time we use passive voice. For example, I ate a mango. Here subject I is important, but when I say a mango was eaten by me, so here the object of the sentence a mango, that is important. So when object is important, we use passive voice, and when subject is important, we use active voice. Whenever we are told to convert an active sentence into passive, first of all we have to make three divisions of the sentence: subject, verb, and object. Because while converting the active sentence into passive, what we have to do? First of all, we have to use the object. For example, I ate a mango. In this sentence, I is the subject, ate is the verb, and a mango is object. So its passive will be a mango was eaten by me. Now remember that in some of the sentences, two objects are there. For example, he offered me a bouquet. So here he is the subject, offered is the verb, me is object, and a bouquet is also object. So me is called as indirect object and a bouquet is called as a direct object. So when two objects are there, we can convert that sentence into passive by using any one object. But remember that if we are using the direct object, if we are making use of the direct object, then we have to use the preposition to in our answer. For example, he offered me a bouquet. If I use indirect object me and make the sentence passive, then the answer will be I was offered a bouquet by him. But if I use the direct object a bouquet, then the answer will be a bouquet was offered to me. Here to is important. A bouquet was offered to me by him. So in this way, if two objects are there, we can convert that sentence into passive by using any one object. But if we are using direct object, then in answer we have to use the preposition to. See, many students have the misconceptions. They think that whatever part is given after the verb, that is the object. But in many sentences, it is not like that. For example, I wrote a letter in the evening. So, what they do, they start the passive a letter in the evening. So, that is wrong. Okay? Because whenever a preposition is used in the sentence, we have to break the object. Okay, from the preposition we have to break the object. I wrote a letter in the evening. Here I is the subject, wrote is the verb, and a letter is object. So object we have to take just a letter. In the evening we have to use at last. So the answer will be a letter was written by me in the evening. So these are very important point. While converting the active sentence into passive, first of all what we have to do, we have to use the object. After using the object, according to the active structure, we have to use passive structure. Now this point is very important. First of all, you should identify whatever verb structure is given in the sentence, that is active or passive. If it is active, obviously that sentence we have to convert into passive, and if it is passive, then we have to convert that sentence into active. So I'll explain in detail all the active passive structures. See here, Subject plus first form of the verb or yes to the verb and object. This is the active structure of simple present. Its passive structure is object plus out of am is or any one verb we have to use, and after that we have to use verb third form. For example, I write a letter is written by me. Second structure is of present continuous. I am writing a letter is being written by me. Third is of present perfect. I have written a letter. Its passive will be a letter has been written by me. Now here one important point is there. Whether in the given sentence have is there or has is there, it doesn't matter. In answer, whether we have to use have been or has been, that depends on the subject of the passive sentence. If the subject of the passive sentence is singular, then we have to use has been. If the subject of the passive sentence is plural, then we have to use have been. So I have written a letter has been written by me. Now fourth structure is of simple past tense. I wrote a letter was written by me. Fifth structure is of past continuous. I was writing a letter was being written by me. Sixth one is of past perfect. I had written a letter had been written by me. Now seventh one is of simple future. I shall write a letter will be written by me. Here also, whether in the given sentence shall is there or will is there, it doesn't matter. In answer, whether we have to use shall be or will be, that depends on the subject of the passive sentence. Shall be we can use only with I and we, and with the rest of the subjects we have to use will be. Now eighth one is of future perfect tense. I shall have written a letter. Its passive will be a letter will have been written by me. So out of 12 tenses, only these 8 tenses are there which we can convert into passive. 4 tenses are there which we cannot convert into passive. Which are those 4 tenses? First is present perfect continuous tense, past perfect continuous tense, future continuous tense, and future perfect continuous tense. So out of 12 tenses, these 4 tenses we cannot convert into passive. Then the next important structure is subject, and after that modal auxiliary. Any modal can be there. Some examples I have given: can, could, should, would, may, might, must. Any one modal will be there, and after that first form and object. What will be its passive structure? Object plus modal auxiliary plus be plus v3. For example, I can write a letter. Its passive will be a letter can be written by me. Now imperative sentence. The structure, passive structure of imperative sentence is let plus object plus be plus v3. How to identify imperative sentence? Imperative sentence, mostly it begins with the first form of the main verb. For example, write a letter. So here write is the verb. Its passive will be let a letter be written. Open the window. Here it is beginning with the main verb open. So its passive will be let the window be open. So these structures are very important. You cannot learn active passive unless you learn these structures. So the first important thing which you have to do is that you have to learn these 10 active and passive structures. So students, I hope that you have learned this topic well. Now let's meet in a new session with a new topic. Till then, it's goodbye.